right, we back up. All right, I don't understand. You know, hey. What was I talking about? Oh, fleeing. Because we're getting ready to drop, listen, we're getting ready to drop truth to hundreds of thousands of people. I'm probably gonna be on a whole nother thing. It didn't just continue, did it? No, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So everybody got to come back on this side, wherever side you're on. Let's get back on this side. Now watch this. The truth of what our king is saying has to go worldwide. So we have to tell the people what he's really saying. He said, when they persecute you in one city, he said, flee. Yeah. The question is, how do you tell a grown man to run anywhere? And I wrestled with that because I thought we were going out here on his word. Come on. And if he's the one who told us to go, shouldn't he stop everybody from being against us? I mean, shouldn't he stop the people from persecuting us? I mean, shouldn't he stop the lies, insults? I mean, we're out here for him, man. He's telling us, run. And we're like, wait a minute, I thought, what is going on here? And if you would be honest, now that we have slowed it down and read it the way it was intended to be read, it's starting to disturb some of y'all. Come on. And he's actually telling me to leave. Because you know, Hebrew's nature, we kind of like fighting. I mean, I'm not saying we all do. I'm just saying it's part of the nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish somebody would. Like, why do we say that? Why do you wish somebody would do something to make you fight? You know what I'm saying? Where did that come from? You're like you're looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's ours. It's just a weird thing about us. So when persecution comes, a lot of times we think that's our opportunity to fight. And then if we fight, then we feel like we can say, I've been fighting for the Lord. How is that going to work when he told you to flee? So when you get to the judgment, having fought when he said to flee, how do you think our king is going to handle you in that situation? And so as I wrestled with this, and I'll try not to be too long today, as I wrestled with this, the first thing that he told me was, he reminded me, he said, you are on a mission impossible. In other words, Uncle Neville, it ain't about you. Woo, I said, what? It ain't about you. This whole thing is about me. It ain't about you. You talking about what you ain't gonna take. And you talking about what you can't stand. And you talking about what you and what how you ain't gonna take that. And how you ain't gonna allow this. And how you. And the whole time the king kicking back on. So when did this become about you? I'm doing a work. And it's a whole lot of sheep, lost sheep. in the house of Israel. And I'm sending you, Iran, this is how he talks to me. He said, I'm sending you to heal the sick and raise the dead. And you want to go kill them. I'm sending you. I'm telling you how they are before you go, because I want them saved, not dead. But you done took it personal. Flee. Where? To another city. Barak. Bet Resh Het. Barak. In Hebrew. We're not dealing with the Greek word here. We're dealing with the Hebraic word. Because the Greek idea has in it coward. So we have to take that out. Now I'm going to show you this in a second. We got to take that part out. But you go to the Hebraic idea, we're not dealing now in the idea of coward. Well, the idea of Barak actually means to go through something, and the idea to flee is not about being a coward. It means to go through. Now, notice how perfectly it sounds when you put the Hebraic word into what Hamashiach is saying. When they persecute you in one city, go through that city to the next one. Does that make more sense? Does that make more sense? You see how our book was written in Hebrew? Because as soon as you bring in the Hebraic idea of when they persecute you here, pass through there and go to the next one, you understand now he's not dealing with my ego. He's not telling me I'm a punk. He's not telling me I'm a sissy. No, he's giving me an assignment. And remember, we are to be harmless as doves, which means there must be as little collateral damage as possible. So Barak means to go through, and the idea is to pass through. Are y'all with me? Now, he says, flee from one city to the other. And that gave me a little comfort, because now I realize that not every city is going to be hostile. Because at one point I was like, oh, we ain't going to get no reprise, no rest. We're not going to get, any breather. But then he said, no, go on to the next one. So I was asking him about this fleeing thing. And I said, what was it about him telling us to leave? And he said back to me, didn't King David, which y'all know is King Dawid, didn't he flee? And I said, yeah. So then he said, was he a punk? No. Was he a sissy? No. Was he a jellyback? And I'm talking about Grandpa now. I'm talking about Grandpa David. And yet, you all know that Grandpa, who as a boy killed a lion and a bear with his hands, fled So I know you're not calling him no sissy. I know you're not calling him a punk. So we got to understand, why did he flee? Because in Scripture, there was only 2 people that I know of that David ever fled from. The first person he fled from, I'm talking about, as I study Scripture now, if y'all find another one, let me know, but the only 2 I can find, the first one was the king of Israel, King Saul. Can I ask a question? Do you believe David fled from King Saul because he was afraid of Saul? See, I like what this group is doing. Y'all get it. If you know that David was not afraid of Saul, would you put a 59 in this room if you can honestly say he was not afraid? In other words, if it came down to it, David could kill Saul. I'm getting ready to show him that right now. If you look in 1 Samuel chapter 24. 1 Samuel chapter 24. Matter of fact, I think I can put that in this room and then I can come back. 1 Samuel. That's Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 24. Let me show you something about our people. 24. And it came to pass, when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, behold, David's in the wilderness of En-Gedi. By the way, I've been to En-Gedi. I've been there. I've been to that very place. Amazing oasis there. That's a whole other story. But it is the wilderness. And then Saul took how many men? 3,000. I'm not making this up. This is in your Bible. David fled from Saul. Saul takes 3,000 men to chase David. Oh, come on. Out of Israel, and went to do what? Roll with me, y'all. And where were they going to be? They're going to be up on the rocks of the what? That don't sound like no sissy to me. That don't sound like no punk to me. Them rocks of the wild goats mean he able to go up mountains and hills and stuff. Strong. And he came to the sheepcotes by the way, where there was a cave. And Saul went in to cover his feet. To relieve himself. Now that could mean a couple things. I'm going to keep it clean. It could mean the copper squat. It could mean to rest or to take a nap. And Saul walked in the cave where David was hiding. Okay, it's right here. And David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. Can you see them? Shh. In the middle, David said, today y'all's on your side, huh? This is your day, Hakeem. Behold, Yahuwah said, I'll deliver. Now they use scripture to David. They say, didn't he say, behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do unto him as it shall seem good unto thee? Then David arose and cut off what? The skirt. He probably cut a tassel of Saul's robe privately. And it came to pass that afterward that David's heart smote him. David felt bad. This man got 3,000 men to kill David. David's boys done climbed way up in the mountain, hide in the cave. Saul done came up here to relieve himself. The men in the room watching Saul come in whispers to David, kill him. Yah has blessed you. He literally had delivered him into that must have been a sharp knife. But that must have been a sharp sword. To cut off a piece, and the man don't even, or David was a ninja. I keep telling you. Martial arts is our thing. The people over in Asia stole our art. Martial arts come from us. It's Hebraic. How'd I get way over there? Oh, I'm talking about how sharp that is. Because he cut that and Saul didn't know. It's in the Bible. Watch this. And the men said, Yahuwah forbid that I should do this thing to my master. Yahuwah, don't take that word, Lord. Yahuwah's what? Anointed. To stretch forth my hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of Yah. So David stayed his servants with these words. In other words, if David wasn't going to kill him, the servants was going to take him out. He said, nah, man, y'all stay here. So nobody rose against Saul. Do you see it? But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. And David rose up afterwards and went out of the cave and cried after Saul. That don't sound like no punk to me. That don't sound like no sissy to me. That does not sound like a man scared of Saul. I want you to understand the idea of him fleeing had nothing to do with him being scared. That's all I'm trying to get you to see. But it did have everything to do with David has been called to be on mission for Yah. He was not called to kill Saul. So therefore, killing Saul would have been unwise. Especially the fact that Yah anointed Saul. So no matter how you feel about Saul and how you might want to take him out, David said, how you feel don't matter. Because Yah knew Saul before he anointed Saul. So how about we just let Yah handle Saul? We ain't running because we scared. We're running because he told us not to do his anointed any harm. And if we stay here and he roll up on us, you already know it's going to be all, they used to say, like popcorn. I'm dating myself now. So it's better for us to run. Now watch this. I'm not through with this passage. We're going one more time. Watch this. And David arose afterwards and went out of the cave and cried after Saul. What? Now if he's so scared, why is he yelling at him? He said, my master, the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth. Now what's the very first rule of combat and battle? You don't never take your eye off your enemy. David ain't scared. He bowed his face to the ground right in front of Saul. It's in the Bible. If the world is now seeing this passage in a way that you've never seen it before, put a 99. We need a 99 in this room, like right now. Everybody needs to see this passage in a different way. You need to see he's not scared at all. That ain't got nothing to do with him fleeing. He bowed himself and said to Saul, I don't know why you listening to the words of these men saying that I'm seeking your hurt. He was really saying, dude, come on, man. If I wanted to kill you between me and you already know it ain't even, that ain't. Oh, let me prove it. Y'all think, a lot of times I know y'all think I'm just talking, but I'm really talking script just in language that we can understand. Because let's let him say it in his own words. Behold this day, thine eyes have seen how that Yahuwah hath delivered thee today into my hand in the cave. And some begged me, that begged me, to kill you. But mine eyes spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth my hand against my king, for he is Yahuwah's anointed. Moreover, my father, look at that honor. He said, yeah, see, moreover, my father, see, yeah, look. This is the skirt of your robe. Where is it? In my hand. For in the fact that I cut off your skirt, off your robe, you know I could have killed you. But I didn't. Know thou and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in my hand. I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntest my soul to take it. Remember he said, go out and they're going to hate you? But the whole time David was out, even though Saul was trying to kill him for being righteous, David never developed the attitude back towards Saul. And I need to share this, Zion. When we go out on Mission Impossible, before you go, understand that the people don't understand you. They're going to hate you for no reason. They're going to call you names for no reason. They're going to want to persecute you for no reason. But you cannot forget that the mission is to save them, not kill them. Even though many of them are ignorant as hell. That's what he told Saul. He said, man, I could have took you out. Easy. But look, you listen to other people tell you about me, but you ain't hearing me tell you about me. And I wanted to show you David, because David, King David, your grandpa, was no punk by any stretch of the imagination. But he was being led by Torah, which is what? Instructions. And it was not in the instructions to kill Saul. The second person that rose up against David, that David fled from, is who? Absalom. And who is Absalom? Absalom was y'all uncle. That's Uncle Absalom with the long hair, the pretty boy that everybody loved. I ain't talking about y'all funny. That's funny. Those of you watching online, you don't know what happened just now. I talked about the pretty boy with long hair, and everybody looked over at Javon. Absalom was your grandfather's son. It's your uncle. And Absalom was watching King David, run the kingdom, and he disagreed. Watch this. With an inaction. Something that David didn't do. One of David's sons, what's his name? Start with an A. Ammon. Raped his half-sister. Now, y'all know according to Torah, he should have been out of here. We don't do that crazy madness in Israel. Oh, y'all didn't know that was a part of the Torah. Torah says you don't approach your sister. wrong with you? And right now we got some crazy Israelites running around here in polygamy, in incest, and claiming to be true Israelites of the Most High Yah. Then they're going to try to group you with them people. Y'all better get out of here with that. Listen, the reason why you cannot get us with that guilt by association, we read Torah. We know what's in it and what's not, and what we're supposed to be doing and what's not. You're not leading us down that road of incest. What's wrong with y'all? About this is half brother, half sister. At this time, that was off limits. Now watch this. Absalom was like, Pops ain't doing nothing. Why ain't Dad killing Ammon? Now, I'm not going to get into why he didn't kill Ammon, other than this. It was his son. It's really hard to kill your own son. I mean, I'm not saying you wouldn't. I'm just saying it's a little harder to kill your own boy than it is for you to kill like a complete stranger. It's your son. But we really don't know what David was going to do. Because after a while, Absalom was like, how about this? I'll kill the Israelite. I'll kill that Hebrew myself. Man set up a trap. Absalom took him out. Boy was bleeding. He was like, that's for my sister, nigga. I mean, Hebrew. Take that word out. I take that word out. Apologize. Please don't back my head. That boy bled completely out. Dead. Now, I'm not saying anything one way or another except for the fact that Absalom was banished and begged to come back later. And I can't tell you the whole story, but eventually Absalom started telling the people, I can do a better job running the kingdom than my dad. Man, that boy was so handsome. His hair grew so long, they used to cut it and weigh it. Just so you have a record of the length of his dreads. Oh, don't think it was them little funny European locks that these people wear. That ain't what he was growing. He was on dreadlock. That got weight to it. Weighed them dreads, man, every year. He was beautiful. And he probably was a cool dude on the surface. He shook hands with everybody, and when they came to see the king, he said, hey, the king is busy, but tell me your problem. Well, they felt so close to Absalom after a while, they was, man, Absalom is a better king than David. He listens and he kisses the hand of the women when they walk through the door. Hey, watch this over there. He answers the phone when we go. He returns emails. He don't never turn his phone off. Man, we love Absalom. But David, oh my goodness. Seems like David is always busy. Me too busy. I gotta hurry on. Absalom, after a while, ended up having half the kingdom. Following him. And someone one day jumped up at him and said, I can take this thing. And David was outside when this thought came to Absalom's mind. And Absalom started rounding up people. Watch this. To pull a coup on his own dad. Absalom was trying to kill David. Now watch the difference in spirit. David wouldn't kill Saul, who was the king of Israel. And that wasn't even his daddy. Absalom is trying to kill David, who according to the text is not only the anointed of Yah, but a man after his own heart. He's the chosen one. He's a little older now, but he's still the chosen one for Israel. And Absalom wouldn't recognize. So, here we go again. The word comes to David. And David basically said, all right, you guys, who's still with me? They said, man, it's 2,000. He said, well, let's go. And everybody freaked out. What do you mean, let's go? He said, we're going to flee. We're fleeing. I want y'all to get that into your head. This is the only other time that we know he's fled. He fled from Absalom, his son. And everybody that was with him, if y'all read the Bible like it's supposed to be read, you can feel the shock of the men that were close to David. Because they were like, okay, king, we're with you, man. We know y'all's with you. Like, and then I know they went, but as soon as David left, I know they were talking to him like this. You know, that's an easy takeout. That little pretty boy ain't never fought one war. He ain't never done, he can't fight. He don't know no ninja skills, man. What is it? I could hear him, but then when David came around, they were like, we with you, kid. Where you want to go, man? Anywhere you want to go, we with you. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove what I'm saying. David said, let's get out of town. Do y'all know why David left Israel or left Jerusalem, fleeing from Absalom? Come on, anybody? That's the answer. David didn't want to kill his own son. He was willing to sacrifice. Do y'all get my point? So is this flee have anything to do with scared? Anything to do with a sissy? Or a punk? No. This has to do with the preservation of the life of his own son. Because if I stay, I'm going to have to kill it. If I stay, it's going to become work. So how about this? David says, I didn't come here to start killing my own family. So how about I just leave? I got to figure something out. I mean, David's still a man, but that's my boy. And they're like, yeah, but he want to kill you. Like, you know what? But he's still my son, and I think I can still talk to him. They was like, what? So David leaves. Go to 2 Samuel. Let's read that, and then I'm going to have to bid you all a farewell. I can already hear Leota's clock going on. 2 Samuel chapter 17. Am I on the right one? 2 Samuel?
2 Samuel 15. Wait, please.
What did I say? Hold on for a minute. Oh, yeah, here it is. Let's start at verse 1. Let's start at 2 Samuel 17, verse 1. Moreover, Ahithophel said to Absalom, let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I will arise and pursue after David this night. Whoa, king. That was his plan. He said, hey, man, let me get 12,000 men, man. We're going to get David tonight. And I will come upon him while he was weary and weak-handed. Who y'all talking about? So you think you're going to take 12,000 men, pursue David, and get him when he's weary and weak-handed? That's what he said about King David. Listen to what? This is what Ahithophel said about King David. He said he'll be weak, weary, tired, weak-handed, and will make him what? Afraid. Boy, you don't know Grandpa at all, do you? And all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only. You, Ahithophel, that's some funny stuff, man. And I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou seekest is as if all return. So all the people shall be in shalom. And the saying pleased Absalom. Absalom was like, yeah, that's it. Get 12,000 men and hunt him down when he's tired and weary and weak-handed. He said, then it pleased Absalom well with all the elders in Israel. Well, that sounded like a good old plan. But then Absalom called Hushai, the Archite, also. And let us hear likewise what he says. Verse 6. And when Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spoke unto him, saying, Ahithophel has spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak now. In other words, this is what he said. He's going to get up tonight when David is tired and weak and all that, and we're going to pursue him, and he's only going to kill the king and get all the men to come back. Is that a good plan? Come on, man, tell me. Now, first of all, Absalom, poor thing. You couldn't see it. And Hushai said to Absalom, the counsel that Ahithophel has given is not good at this time. He said, man, you gonna listen to Ahithophel? That word good is tov, which means functional. He said, man, that's so dysfunctional. That ain't gonna work. He said, for said Hushai, watch this. Thou knowest thy father and his men. He was like, so what he told you was what? Well, he said, you know, he's going to run into the mountain, and then when he's tired and he's weak, and we're going to call him, we're going to get him, we're going to kill him, man. We're going to kill him, dude, and we're going to bring everybody back under here. He said, so that's the advice you got, young man. So let me bring you back to who your daddy is, because obviously you don't know your daddy, nor do you understand the boys that run with your daddy. All right, let's see if I'm telling the truth or if I'm just making something up. If y'all in the room and we all on the same page, just make sure we all together. Put the 109 in this room. I need to see it. 109. He said, you know your father and his men, they be what? Ahithophel said they weak.
No, mighty men.
But Hushai say, you're not dealing with normal people here. They're mighty men. They be what? Chafe in their what? In other words, you don't understand the kind of mind they have. It's calloused. They've been on the battlefield so much that if you mess around and trigger that thing, man, you don't get it. You totally don't understand. These guys are rough around the edges. These fellas can I say it like this? They killers. going to talk about you sneaking up. You're going to take 1,200 people, 12,000 people, and sneak up. What is wrong with you? Watch this. This is how they are. Can I tell you how they are? As a bear robbed of her little babies. Who in here trying to sneak up on a bear that have been robbed of her cubs? First of all, most of y'all don't want to sneak up on a bear, period. Man, y'all been watching too much television, too much National Geographic, too much Discovery Channel. You think you're just gonna walk up on a bear? Really? Stop that. That's television. Somebody done already shot that bear with so much tranquilizer that you don't see on camera. He said, man, you mess around and disturb these men, they will tear you apart just like a bear will tear you if you try to steal her cubs. Watch this now. And thy father, come on now. Wait, no, he's just a songwriter. No, he's just a poet. No, he's just a good preacher. No, he's just a good prophet. He had to remind Absalom, your dad, dude, is a man. He ain't no boy of war, no child of war. He is man o' war. When we think of war, we think of King David. When we think of battles, we think of King David. When we talk about the greatest mano a mano, we talk about David and the lion. You don't forget. Son, let me tell you something about your dad. I'll tell you something about your dad. One, he ain't gonna be lodged with everybody else. You know why? Because he knows you after him. He's not gonna be hanging out in the regular crowd. Him and his boys, they're gonna slip off somewhere. I guarantee you. Say, well, where is he gonna go? He said, man, your father is probably right now in some pit. Are y'all reading this with me? He said, man, your dad is probably in some pit or in some other place. Boy, and it'll come to pass when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whoever heareth it will say, the slaughter is among the people that follow Absalom. And he, also that is valiant, whose heart is as the heart of a lion, come on, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knoweth that thy father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are what kind of men? Valiant men. Can I explain to you what's really going on here? I think y'all catch it. That's what he said. He said, look, man, you go out after the crowd that went out there. Number one, David, being a man of war, he ain't even going to be in that crowd. He's going to be hidden in some cave somewhere. Because he's a man of what? War. He understands war. So he's like, I'm going over here. He said, then when the people that's with him hear the other folk being slaughtered or yell or cry, their heart is going to melt. That word don't mean soft like can't. It means they're going to rip. It means it's going to be on. They're going to have compassion over them slain people, and they're going to come back and prove how valiant they really are. In other words, young buck, you don't know your daddy. He's calm and cool and all that, but when it comes to the battlefield, you're no match for him, man. And that little plan right there is going to get everybody killed. Because you do know that just him and his men could kill all 12,000 of them cats. David could kill 10,000. So let's talk about his mighty men of valor who just hang out with him. I know you think they all old and they're going to be weak and all that. Man, them boys train all the time. That's what he's trying to tell him. It wasn't too long ago I saw him behind the palace, man, pushing up 350. He was like, man, how old are you? Oh, 75. My dad was still strong at 75. I would not dare, while my pops was living at 75, buck up against my dad. Not mano a mano. That would have been all bad. All I'm trying to show you is, if David fled, he fled so he wouldn't have to kill his son. Stop thinking he's some coward running. That's not the picture. He's like, there's no other. If this is going to cause a civil war in Israel, and maybe he was even thinking about the fact maybe I should have moved faster on what Ammon did. I don't know, but he's a man too. But I want to show you a point. When you and I go out on the battlefield for Yah, there will be some people that's close to you that's going to be one of the main reasons for your pain, anguish, and discomfort. There is an Absalom everywhere who always sitting back going, I could do better. Now you do know Yah called David, right? To be the king. I told y'all earlier, he's called me to be a Moray here at the ARK, right? Do you know that every day I'm humbled by the fact that he's still even using me to do anything? And what is almost comical to me is other people kicking back behind the computer saying, I can do that better than him. Okay, Aki, do it. But you ain't got to put me down. You ain't got to talk about me. You don't have to put down the ARK and the work of the ARK. How about you go ahead and do another work, and then your work will be going, my work will be going, and a whole bunch of people, all of us are doing what Yah has called us to do, and that is to go from place to place, help wake up Jacob, heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, and cast the devil out. We don't have to fight about who is the most anointed and who's the greatest preacher. And I can hear y'all saying, boy, this is terrible. Absalom, kissing the hands of the people, answering a few more emails than the Moray. I hate to say it, but Absalom will have all the receipts. I got the receipts. Absalom, of course he got the insight. He's the son. I can do it better. So you know what has to happen? You on the battlefield, you have to run. I know that hurts. You got to take the low road. I know that hurts. You have to go hide in the cave. I know that hurts. You have to be like this. Yah, handle it. I know that hurts. Just like when we were dealing with that passage where it said turn the other cheek. I remember that. You know when it's really hard to turn the other cheek? When you know you can turn his other cheek. Right. That's when it gets, you know what I'm saying? But that's not why we're out here. Did I make it plain? That we're not out here to do collateral damage. We're not out here to make it about us. It's about the kingdom. So Absalom, even though Absalom made it about him, David, being a man after Yah's own heart, thought twice about that thing and said, you know what? It's better that I leave. Now, I got to type a loose end. Do you know that after this whole little shabacle was done, David Absalom's men later decided to run up on David, and they had to fight. And you know what David said to his mighty man of valor, Joab, who was always a little off to me anyway. He said, listen, I know y'all went out there. He already knew, like, you're gonna win. Come on, man, them against us, come on, dude, that's not even close to a real battle. All them pretty boys playing Nintendo and basketball with skinny jeans can't handle us. Come on, man. The skinny jean generation, the Nintendo boys, I mean, they talk a big talk, but come on, man, we really know what it's like to be out here. It's not going to be a good fight. So here's what I want you to do. When you capture Absalom, because you're going to win. When you capture him, don't kill him. Just don't kill my boy. Come on, man, just don't kill him. In other words, don't kill him, man. That's my boy. And you know what? Joab didn't listen. See, Yah delivered Absalom alive into the hands of David's men. Absalom was riding a donkey, and his dreads was bouncing up and down. He went under a tree, and I thought, he went, oh! And the book said he was swinging, dangling between heaven and earth. I mean, his feet wasn't on the ground. What an easy capture. Yah did that. Yah told that tree, grab it. The tree said, go. Absalom is alive. All they had to do was take him down, tie his arm, take him to his dad. They would have went somewhere, man, and talked it over. Like, look, boy, don't do that no more. I promise you. Next time they're going to be so merciful for you. See, David wanted one more time to talk to his son. Maybe David would have apologized to his son. Hey, man, you were right about that Ammon thing. I should have moved quicker. But that's no reason to tear up the kingdom, man. Y'all get my point? But Joab, not being harmless as a dove, created collateral damage and killed David's son. So I want to tie that. And David cried and wept for Absalom. Now, I know y'all saying, I don't understand that. But this is how I'm closing my message today. How you feel about Absalom ain't got nothing to do with how David feels about Absalom. Now let's bring it home. How you feel about Israel don't have nothing to do with how Yah feels about Israel. How you feel about the lost sheep that you want to kill and fight and stab and take off. You don't understand how Yah feels about them. The ones that's cussing you. The ones that's putting your name in the street. He's willing to die for them. Shed his blood for them. And just because you hate them don't mean that he hates them. He wants one more chance to sit down with his child who's gone wayward and say, come on, son, one more time. Let us reason together. Though your sins be red like crimson, though they be like scarlet, make you white as the snow. In other words, I can hear him saying, you need to flee when it gets rough. Don't go out there killing my sheep now. Because I'm telling you, before you get out there, they're not going to all receive you. I'm telling you, before you go out there, some of them are going to talk about you bad. Some of them will be an Absalom. Some of them will be a Judas Iscariot. Some of them will be a snake in the grass. Some of them will turn you over to court. Some of them will drag you in front of the people and scourge you. But don't kill them. If it comes down to it, just keep it moving. Why do I keep it moving? Number one, because some cities, some situation is just a waste of time. I know you love mama, grandmama, cousin, uncle, best friend, co-worker, but they've already made up their mind they're not coming, and you're spending all of your time. You're wasting time. Other people need to hear the message. Number two, you're wasting toil. A lot of the work that you're putting in is not being blessed, if you want to use that term. Why? It's toiling for nothing. And that's not what we're called to do. You're wasting time. You're wasting toil. Number three, you're wasting treasure. Some of y'all keep spending all your money, thinking if you keep buying somebody something, they'll see that being a Hebrew is really a cool thing. So you spending all your money on lunch, spending all your money on clothes, buying this book, buying that book, getting this, buying that, buying this, and the person still are not being converted. So now you're wasting time. You're wasting toil. You're wasting treasure. Can I give you another one? You're wasting teaching. For Hamashiach says, do not cast your pearls before the swine, lest they turn on you and trample you. All that studying and all of that praying and all of that preaching, you're wasting time, you're wasting toil, you're wasting treasure, and you're wasting your teaching. Let me tell you something. Not only are you wasting that, you're wasting your tears. Because some of y'all keep the pillows soaked at night. Crying over so-and-so, crying over so-and-so, and have no idea that that person is determined with all their might to go to hell. They don't want y'all. They don't want Torah. They don't want you. So now you wasted time. Now you wasted toil. Now you done wasted treasure. Then you wasted teaching. Now you wasting tears. And worst of all, you waste the many over the few. Did y'all hear what I said? I said you're wasting the many over the few. You're trying to reach the few. When the king says we got to reach the many, he said if the few don't want to hear it, flee. Not because you're sissy, not because you're punk, not because of none of that, but because we don't have time to be wasted. We don't have the energy to be toiling. We don't have the resources to be wasting treasure. We don't have the tears to be wasted on those who are already determined to say no. Watch this. When we have no idea how many are out there that's willing to say yes. I never shall forget when I woke up to the truth, started teaching this, I had about 35, 40 people right here in Fresno I was happy with. I said, well, I'm just going to hang out with my close group, we're going to be fine. Messed around, started talking to a couple of people. They said, Pop, you know, it's a big world. And I said, yeah, I know. They said, but we got to go. We got to tell it outside these walls. Yeah. And you know who I went to first? I first started talking to my pastor friends. Over and over, praying and praying, crying and crying, studying and studying. They called me from all over the world. They called me from New York. They called me from Alabama. They called me from Arizona. They called me from California. They called me from everywhere. So what is this? And I'm spending time and toil and treasure and teaching and time and toil and tears and time and toil and tears. Until one day I talked to another brother who said, well, maybe you need to move on. You have no idea how many other people may be willing to hear what you got to say. And so, Jazz, we took the message outside the four walls. We went through the church into the highways, into the hedges, and until people started waking up that we never thought would wake up. We saw the dope dealers stop slinging dope and start keeping Torah. We saw streetwalkers come off the street and start keeping Torah. We saw people getting rid of Easter eggs and Christmas trees while the pastors were still having chitlin struts and anniversaries. I said, well, I guess there is a lot of work to be done. And he said, well, you have no idea. And that's how he closed this verse 23. He said, you would not have gone through all the cities of Israel until the Son of Man be come unto you. You know what he's telling me? He's telling me that the work is so massive. There are so many cities. There are so many people that if we work every day, all day, we won't reach everybody. The key is don't get stuck in one place. So how long? I think I'll go and preach out here. How long shall I be out here? He said, well, until every high place have been brought low. How long shall I be out here? He said, till every crooked place have been made straight. How long do I have to be out here? I can hear him saying, until everybody has heard the news of the kingdom. And he said, keep on working because I'll be back. Say when you're coming, I'll be back before you reach every city. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. Yes, and you know what that meant? One of these old days, he's gonna call my name. One of these old days, he is gonna show up and bring me from work to reward. Yes, he's coming back. That's my hope. He's coming back. That's my joy. He's coming back. That's my motivation. He's coming back. That's how I endure the tribulations and troubles. He's coming back. That's why I flee unnecessary persecution. He's coming back. That's why I go from city to city. He's coming back. That's why you still hear me saying, hallelujah. He's coming back. Stay on the field. The captain's coming. Everything will be all right. Just keep on working. Keep on working. He said, I'm not going to leave you there forever. I'm coming. He said, I'm coming. Hallelujah. Stay on the battlefield. We're on special mission. I'm through preaching. Hope you got the message. Flee to another city. Next week we're going to talk about fear. Hallelujah. But I got a little old school song. It went something like this. It said, we are soldiers in the army. We had to fight. Oh, we had to cry. We have to hold up the blood. Stand back. I had to hold it up. We are soldiers in it. We gotta fight. We had to hold the blood-stained battle. Gotta hold it up until my mother, she was a soldier. Had a hand on the gospel. One day Hallelujah. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. I pray this message was encouraging for you to stay on the battlefield for Yah. It won't be long. Our King is coming back. He's going to make everything all right. We'll be all right. I just thought of something I'm going to leave for the whole world, for my friend VJ. VJ was a soldier, had his hand on the gospel plow. Oh, one day he got up, couldn't fight no more. I heard him say, I'm gonna stand right here, fight anyhow. Oh, the arms. Don't forget, support the work of the ARK. You know, we try to take this message all over the world, doing these meetups, meeting on a regular basis. Those of you who are kind enough to give, you will see that I wrote a special message to everybody. When you make a donation, you'll get that message back, and I mean what I say in there too. And so those of you online, as you sign it, know. Shalom from the ARK here in Fresno. Hallelujah.